right. Now, we're going to get this ready to go into the title block, and to do that, we're going to want it to do an exploded view assembly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new presentation, and I'm going to place that final assembly that we have. So I'm going to make sure that I'm getting it. Now, I want to explode everything, so I'm going to tweak the component. So I'm going to start out by tweaking this component, and I'm going to move it on the z-axis, and I'm going to move it out, let's see if I wanted to move out at least 2 away from each other, so that would be 2, that would be 4. So let's do a -6, just to make sure we have enough room. Apply. Okay, good. And then I'm going to tweak the next component, which would be the cap here on the Z, and let's go out -3 on it. Okay, good. And I'm going to, let's just do a -1.5. So it's just separated out enough, right? So we have it exploded out just a little bit. So let's go look at the top now. And I want to do the same thing for these little handle parts right here. I want them to come out. So let's tweak our components. Sometimes you have to spin it around a little bit so you can grab the component. Okay, we want it on that x-axis. Let's make sure that's going the right way. Yeah, there we go. Let's explode it out 1. Oops. See, that's how you can see. So undo. -1. Make sure you have the right axis selected when you're tweaking. Should be on the X. -1. Okay, there, that's good. Actually, there's a little more than I needed it to be. Let's try 0.5. Should be plenty. And grab this one. Okay, good. And then we're going to do the same thing with the pop rivet. We're going to tweak it out, and that should be on the X, and let's put it out 1. On its Z. Grab the component. Should be on the Z-axis if I'm looking here. Yeah. And that's definitely not correct. So sometimes you have to play with it a little bit to figure out what's going on. Why? Nope. So I was right in the first place. Okay, let's try again. There, it zoomed in on it, tweak the component on the Y. Very good. 1. Okay. Now I have a nice exploded view of my pizza cutter. File, save as, pizza cutter, exploded. And yes. So I have all my components tweaked and exploded. I may have some of them out more than what I want, but the point is to get them exploded so we can do the next part. All right, now I'm going to create a new drawing, IDW. So ANSI IDW, create. And on this page, the first component we're actually going to put is going to be the exploded. Now, obviously that's not going the correct way, is it? Correct? So what does that tell me? That tells me in my exploded view over here, okay, hush. I need to do a little correcting, so that's not my front. So now I'm going to say that this is my front view. So in theory, that should be my top, front, right side, so forth, right? Let's save. And now let's go in and do, which is pretty good. That's pretty much right. And I'm going to place it into here. Now, if I feel that that's the wrong size, say I don't think that that's the right scale, maybe I want to do it to a 1 to 2. That's all it takes to be able to change your scale. I'm going to change it back to a 1 to 1 for right now. And I'm going to leave it wireframe. So as I'm drawing, and if I find that that's exploded too much, just tweak those components back. See, that was real hard, right? Save. And now let's see how it's updated. See, they're together. And I actually don't want it shaded right now. There we go. Okay, good. Okay, now we want to make our material list or bill of materials, and we're going to do a bubble call out. Okay, this is something new that you haven't done before. Before I do it, I'm going to go ahead and move this up just a little bit. There we go. And now I want to create my parts list. So under annotate, it's no place for you. Under annotate, here's the parts list right here. And I'm going to tell it to do parts only, enable auto wrap, numeric digits. Okay, yeah. Tell it okay. I'm going to place it right here underneath it. And I want you to notice how in here it's already put in there. So it put the item number, so automatically assigned a number to it, and it tells you the quantity. See, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1. All right. So I did that for us. Oh, come on, cooperate. Okay, now I want to do my balloons. My balloons are my call out. So this is what's telling me in this view what matches here to the table. So I simply go to my balloon, and don't worry about numbering them. Just go ahead and start drawing them. So we want to make it look like the example. So I'm going to pull it out to here and hit the enter key. Notice how it automatically updated the number that's in here. So I didn't have to worry about any of that. I just want to make it look like the example given to me. So I can do the parts in whatever order I want. It will automatically assign them the correct number. Okay, so there are all my parts. Now we're going to continue to place the parts, and we're going to label them and do all that just as we've done before in the past. So for an example, let's just do the pop rivet real quick. I'm not going to do them all. I'm only going to do a few because you should be able to do this now. I don't want assembly. I want part files. Rivet. Open. Oh, 17 to 1. Oh my goodness. No, 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 no. Let's try a 1 to 1. Oh, no, no, no. That's too small. Try a 5 to 1. That looks pretty darn well. That looks like that might work. Okay, good. And I project it. Create. Move them as needed. And if I double click on it, shaded. And then you need to add your text here at the bottom. Annotate text. And this one is item. Now that's where the fun part comes in. The rivet is, according to this, item number 3. Okay, sorry. Item 3. Rivet. Scale is whatever scale we use. So if we used a 5 to 1, put a 5 to 1. Whatever scale you use, make sure you list it. So if you were changing your scale, so say we did, we're done, and I wanted to update it, and if I change my scale to the 2 to 1, which you can, that's not a problem, and you readjust it. Just make sure that you adjust it here also in that. And I want it centered. Centered, centered. Okay, that looks much better. And then you just keep replacing the part. Now, some of those parts you'll notice they have the sectional view, so you got to remember to go back into your sectional. So, for an example, in the handle, I'll go get the handle. Okay, and actually, I don't want that. I want to. Okay, fine. No, not fine. Oh, handle. Save. Now let's go try to go get that handle. There we go. That's much better. So here's my handle. My projected view here. Create. And then also I want to create a sectional view. And I want it to run right smack down in the middle. Continue. And see how I did the sectional view right next to it? And then again, you'd go back to your annotate your text and you place all your text in there. And you just keep going creating. Like this view is supposed to be shaded, so this one's not. And you just keep going. Make sure you get the item part right and everything correct. Don't forget that you get everything down here. Remember to change that. You go to your iProperties, Summary, Title. This would be Pizza Cutter, EDP, whatever class period you may be in. Your manager is Mrs. Baxter. School. And you just keep going. Okay? So place everything in. Once you have everything done, do an export as a PDF and save that in your folder. And then also do an export image JPEG and save it in that folder. And then you're going to submit the PDF and the JPEG. What you've done is you've created an image file of it. You've created a PDF file of it. And you're going to submit both of them for grading. Congratulations, you've essentially completed the pizza cutter. Very good.